So this is a very interesting card. It looks complex, but in fact it's incredibly simple to do, as long as all the pieces have been cut using your scan and cut. So this is card number 8. The first thing that we need to do is get this invisible thread in, and I've got a couple of little tips for you. So take some of your glue mouse, because this allows us to stick this in position. So we don't have to try and find ourselves an extra pair of hands when we're working. So pop that in and press it into the adhesive. Once it's pressed in, it isn't going to go anywhere. And then I can trim off what I actually need. Now we're going to build the circle itself. So the first panel that's going to go on is the white one, and then we're going to actually add in the black. But without having that glue in place, it means that it's really hard to hold that tape, and so to hold the panel and also the invisible thread. So I'm going to make sure that these two pieces of glue hold the thread in place. So I'm going to come up to the top and position the first one up at the top, and then pull that invisible thread down to make sure that that's in place. So I now know I've got hold of the panel. By us putting double thicknesses of mats and layers on here, what it's going to do, it weights the design, and it means it helps it spin. So it's a really useful way and a clever way of making sure you get the best results without you having to worry about the physics of this working. So one last piece of foam to be able to get our panels in place, and that is going to sit over the top. I'm just going to make sure my finger lift tape's released, and which it is there, and there we've got our circle ready to work with. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is look at how this actually is all going to come together. So there's my base card, and this is going to sit directly on the top. We need to make sure we've got these score lines in place. Those score lines are going to work backwards and forwards, so you're seeing the dimension that you've got. And this panel is going to glue down here, but it will be free in the middle. So let's look at where we put the tape. In the first rectangle that you've got at this side, you need to put the tape all the way around it. The second rectangle needs to be completely free, as does the first half circle, and the second half circle will have tape. So first rectangle, tape; second rectangle, no tape; first half circle, no tape; second half circle, again, we need tape. The tape at the top here is in a good position, because that's going to help us glue our spinner in place. So put all the tape on before you start to layer up the card. This will give you the best result, and it's also the easiest way to assemble. Red liner tape can be quite frustrating sometimes because it gets a little bit of static on it, but just move that out of the way. There isn't anything else that does as good a job. So take the tape and lay it so that you're pushing the actual finger lift, you're pushing the invisible thread into your red liner. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got those in place. I'm not going to worry too much about it being perfect, because as part of what I'm doing, I'm going to tighten up these threads. And now I need to do some lining up, and it's important we get this correct. So the best way to do this, because we need our circles directly over each other, is to work like this. Let's get that in position. Once you're in position, you should be able to lay that down. I'm going to make that score line there. So when you fold this in half, it's important that we actually pull out the centre, because this is where we create the dimension. So pop out the centre, pull back, and create the design as we can see here, and it will fold perfectly flat. You just need to create that extra bit of work. And then we take our invisible threads, and these are going to be pulled so that it's taut inside the design, so that, just picking this one up, it's taut inside the design so that it is held in position. And what should be happening once we've got everything right is that this will spin. which is exactly what we're getting there. So whether you're going to do them black or white, you're going to get fabulous results. And the fun thing is, with both of these, they're clever designs that allow you, with the fronts, to be able to put more dimension onto them.